It's grand final rematch time in the NRL today. We've got Penrith Panthers versus Parramatta Eels. Look, Parramatta have gone 0-3. Can they bounce back? Can they finally get a win? Or will they go 0-4? Will Penrith do what they did to them in the grand final and just run straight over them? Or will it be a completely different story? Will Parramatta finally get their revenge? Will they redeem themselves for their pathetic performance in the grand final and their lackluster performances in the ends of the last games as well, not being able to capitalize in the Melbourne Storm match, and plenty others. Start off with my personal opinion how this match will go, and I think they will redeem and redemption, and they'll finally get a win on the board. The rematch will be Parramatta's. Now, look, this is pretty controversial as they're a very heavy underdog. I just think Penrith will lose this one. I don't think Parramatta will do too much to win this, but I do think they play a classy performance and a very offensive threat, and they do score some tries and put a lot of pressure on Parramatta. They'll put a lot of pressure on Penrith, which will make Penrith fall and crack, as we've seen before this year when they lost the Broncos. When you really put the pressure on them offensively, they crack because something's wrong with them culturally wise, right? Penrith only just got over the Rabbitohs in a very close affair, even though the Rabbitohs were missing a lot of firepower throughout that match as well. And then obviously they lost to the Broncos. Something is wrong with the Penrith Panthers, and obviously something is wrong with the Eels as well. But I do think the Eels are an okay team. They're definitely not an 0-3 team. They've been doing okay. They've been probably the better side a lot of the time, a lot of the matches they have played. So I do think this is finally when the tides have changed. There's a super big upset on the line here, but I do think this is the upset that happens in the NRL today. What do you guys think? Do you think Penrith have a shot here? I'll talk about the other side now, but this is just my prediction. Like I said, over to the other side now, Penrith Panthers. How do they get this done? Look, Penrith Panthers have won back-to-back championship. They can clearly win any game that's put in front of them. They can beat anyone. And just like this game, they can obviously win this. How? Look, they got to string in some better football. Offensively, they've been struggling this year. They've only scored over... I don't think they actually have scored over 20 points this year. It's been a very early start. They've only played 2 games plus the bye, but they only scored 16 points against the Rabbitohs. And Rabbitohs are a pretty defensive side, but they were missing a lot of players, like I said. And then the Broncos... Yeah, the Broncos are defensive, but we've seen the Broncos give up some points this year too. So I do think Penrith really needs to find their way offensively. Cleary hasn't really been too much of a big impactor, neither has Edwards. And Brian To'o has been pretty good, but sometimes their only problem at the moment is offensively. Defensively, they've been sound. They've been okay. They've held the Rabbitohs to only 10. They held the Broncos pretty low as well compared to what we've seen past that. So, of course, they can get this done, but I do think Parramatta do hold a bit more of an offensive threat than they have seen. Obviously, Reece Walsh wasn't there for the Broncos, so they didn't get to see a full offensive threat for the Broncos. And for the Rabbitohs, we didn't get to see full threat of Latrell, Cody. Obviously, they were playing, but they weren't 100%, and then even more wasn't playing as well. But that's what I got to say my prediction-wise. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about my predictions. If I'm wrong, if I'm right, let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and push the notification bell. I'm almost at 2,000. Thank you.